Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with your Monday morning MLive weather update. And a couple of things to talk about. Well, we have a frost advisory for about the northern third, almost northern half of lower Michigan tonight, especially the interior areas. I'll show that to you in just a moment. And I really feel like the summer weather pattern is establishing. We don't believe it here in Michigan because we're surrounded by still the cool waters of the Great Lakes. So you get much warmer in the southwest half of Wisconsin. You get much warmer in northern Illinois, much warmer in northern Indiana and Ohio. I know we only care about Michigan, but it's just a sign that it is happening. A strong warming trend is happening. And what it takes is a week or two of that to work off the cold temperatures on the Great Lakes. Okay, so it happens every year that way, and I kind of feel like it's happening about a week or two ahead of time. So let's get to it and show you today. Today's kind of a nasty day, and today's kind of a sneaker day as far as on the weather goes. We have showers across northern lower, across the UP, maybe even in the southwest lower, and that's why I say it's kind of a sneaky day, because not everything will show up on the radar today. It's lake effect rainfall. Yes, so I would anticipate a shower at any time, anywhere today, but the farther south and east you are away from the lake, the less chance you have of one or two showers. Not anything real significant. Now, of course, up to the north where the lake effect is established, it's pretty drizzly and showery, not heavy, but you could have it at any time. And here's the radar forecast, which I don't think is doing real well on this pattern. I'll show you something that I think works a little bit better. But point being here is we're into this afternoon, and the radar forecast doesn't show anything, which means that it's probably going to be hit and miss precipitation and on the light side. This is what I think you need to look at, and this is a computer model with the pressure pattern, okay? And this is at 11 o'clock this morning. So these are the pressure lines. And when the pressure lines are shaped around a low pressure center, that means the air is rotating like low pressure. When you see these little kinks in the pressure lines, that means there's a low pressure trough. And this is a classic pattern, if we knew nothing else about the weather, to say that Michigan will have some spurts of lake effect rain showers. That keeps us cool through the day. Now this is 5 o'clock this evening, and that pattern's starting to break down, but it keeps us cool and mostly cloudy all day. That holds the temperatures down, and then the perfect frost pattern is when we get to sunset, sky's clear. So we don't get the heating of the sun during the day to boost our temperature much, and we then cool off quickly right after sunset. And let's go to tomorrow morning. And again, remember, these are pressure lines, and so we're at a light wind tomorrow morning, and that is also a frost situation. So not so much talking about the far south, but anywhere north of that. Here's where the frost advisory is in effect. Not the greatest colors, because it should look like it's cold to you, but Gratiot County, Montcalm County, northward has a frost advisory in effect. And there could still be some frost down in this region, but probably real spotty and short term. Okay. Jim Biddle says, still not planning until Memorial Day. After tonight, I wouldn't worry about it. And in fact, I really wouldn't worry about tonight unless you're in the northern sections. Uh-oh, sneeze coming on. Bill Hobart, will it hurt the blossoms? Probably not. Again, it's a pretty light situation, and remember that typically in northern Michigan, typically there are a couple of these light frosts, and it's actually Mother Nature's natural pruning. Some of these fruit trees can't handle all the blossoms turning into fruit, or they'd be real small. So Mother Nature does this every year, and that's why for hundreds of years it's been a great place to grow fruit in northern Michigan. So this one isn't out of the ordinary, I wouldn't say at all. And the good news is we haven't had extremely warm temperatures to progress things along. as far as blossoms go on the fruit trees. Any of those? Muskegon. Yes, Muskegon is right here. So Muskegon County is in it. And again, it's probably going to be more inland than away from the water. Let's get to the temperatures. Now, this is a model for tomorrow morning's low temperature. And I would take a degree or two off of this in the cold spots. So around Gaylord, you're talking 33, 32, maybe down south of Traverse City and into the Cadillac area. In the Thumb, in Genesee County, there's a cold pocket here, Genesee County into Lapeer. And if you drop to 37, maybe 36, 35, you could have a 1 hour worth of a light frost. And maybe it travels down toward Lansing and Jackson, but probably not around Detroit. The west side of the state, Grand Rapids, gets a little warming from the lake. Shorelines too. UP, you don't get a frost advisory yet because they feel, I guess, like you still will commonly get frosts, but yes, the UP would have some frost also. Okay, let me go back to the weather for the week then as far as rainfall. So we have our showers today. Tomorrow is a dry day. Wednesday, a storm system is coming toward us, but it's a dying cold front. Hey, thank you, John Kleinschmidt, for watching me in the morning. Hit the share button if you can. Appreciate it greatly. This is Wednesday morning. This is Wednesday late morning, Wednesday afternoon. So what's happening is a dying cold front is coming through middle of the day when it's not favorable to have a lot of rainfall on it, and it'll shoot through. So we're going to have a couple of hours of showers on Wednesday, it looks like. And then as we get into Thursday, it looks generally dry. And as we get toward the weekend, we'll be watching it. There are storm systems around. I don't think we're going to have all-day rains on Memorial Day. We typically have a couple of 3 to 6 hour shots of rainfall. And I'll be honest, as far out as we can go right now for accuracy, I would say is about 3 days. The current pattern that we're in at this time of the year. The overall hemispheric weather pattern is changing to a summer pattern. And we are in the zone where the lakes give us an intense temperature gradient that I'm going to show you here in just a moment. And that sets up a lot of variability, a lot of changes to the potential forecast 4, 5, 6 days out. So right now, at the moment, for the next week or two, we're probably honestly only going to be good for you out to about 3 days in specifics. And then after that, we're going to be, in general terms, but you don't like forecasts in general terms. You like to know exactly what's going to happen at your house on Memorial Day afternoon. Now let's go to the temperatures, and I want to show you what is going on. I put a little blurb there. If we weren't surrounded by Great Lakes, we would be warm. Okay, so what you're looking at is the high temperature, and let's go to tomorrow. Tomorrow is a little better than today because we get some sunshine. And so you're looking at low to mid 60s. Let's go to Wednesday. And Wednesday is a little warmer yet. 70s, 60s, but again, 50s in the UP. And anytime you get any of this flow off of the Great Lake for the next week or two, you're going to be still cool because the Great Lakes water temperatures are still quite cool. Let's go to Thursday. Okay, look at this intense temperature gradient. Look at just to the south, outside of the influences of the Great Lakes. Upper 80s, northern Illinois, northern Indiana. Mid 80s, Ohio. Low to mid 80s, perhaps, in the southern part of the state. Detroit, Ann Arbor, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. And then maybe upper 70s to maybe 80 degrees. And then you get to the UP, and you're looking at temperatures in the 50s. So my point being is there is a lot of heat building just to our south. It gets to us and starts transferring into energy to warm up the Great Lakes. And that happens every year. This is Friday. Look at that, 90, upper 80s. But it just stops at the lake. And it is going into, as you notice, trying to warm up the lake water. And it will be warming up the lake water. Saturday, 80s to the south. So my point being is that there is definitely a warm large warm blob, large summery blob establishing itself. It would be over Michigan if we drained the Great Lakes and didn't have the energy going into warming that cool water. But it's there, and it will take over very quickly at some point. My guess is the very last few days of May or the first week of June. Still going to be an up and down pattern, because as we're on that temperature gradient of warmth to our south, 80s to near 90, and up in the UP 60s, that temperature gradient runs across Michigan, and that does form storms that bring the warmth for a day or two, brings it cool down for a day or two. But the point being is, I know it's still a waiting game. I know some of you want it right now and forever for the rest of the summer. But the warmth is building, and once those lakes warm up, we may be very surprised at actually how very warm and humid it will get for a consistent time. Yeah, you like those technical terms, huh, Shannon? Blob. And I know we live here in the Great Lakes. We love them, but I guess if you love a early summer, you don't love the Great Lakes at that point. So there's your update today. Cloudy, drizzly, cold tonight. There is a frost advisory, and then we'll be gradually warming up through the week. Hey, Matthew wants to know, any confirmed tornadoes yesterday? Yes, so far one quick tornado in Berry County, over near the Grand Rapids area. I think it was on the ground for 1.3 miles, and I think they rated it as an F0, EF0. So there was one quick one. We had one other tornado warning over in St. Clair, Macomb County. I haven't seen any confirmation there, but so we did have a little bit of severe weather as expected. And there's your morning weather update. Thanks for joining me this morning here on MLive. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.